What is up, everybody? Oh, Jesus. Yeesh. That was rough. What is up, everybody? It is that time again. And I'm not wearing a shirt and driving at the same time. It's freaking hot out in Carolina right now. It's 90 degrees! 90 degrees, and I'm driving home from work. I'm anticipating a lot of traffic today. I've already been on the road for like 10 minutes. Just want to go home. But we got some crap we need to talk about. The Rangers last night beating the Devils in overtime again. Without even needing Neil Pionk to bury the goal, Kevin Hayes waits out the Devils' defense and passes to Vinny fucking Lettieri. Vinny fucking Lettieri puts the goal in the back of the net. If he didn't score that, there would have been a mob hit last night. I swears on it. I swears it. No, that was a fun game to watch last night. That was good. You know, it's nice. I love watching the young guys play, especially in the preseason. People are upset. They think the preseason is too long. I honestly think 7 games is perfect. I think games 1 through 3 should be, you know, prospects and AHLers, the few NHLers sprinkled in there to keep the compete level up and for guidance and all that stuff. In games 4 and 5 should be more NHLers and the top prospects and top AHLer performers. And the final 2 games of the preseason should be NHLers and the last few guys that are fighting for final spots. That's it. I think 7 games, perfect. Especially for that little thing right there. And you know, not for nothing too, it's good to have the young guys play those first 3 games, especially even the ones that aren't going to make it. Because experience on NHL ice and an NHL jersey against some NHL players. It's good to have that. Now with that, I want to give my thoughts on the roster because honestly, my thoughts for what I want the roster to be already complete. I know who I want on this team. I know who I don't want on this team. And right now, the way I see it, I know Coach Quinn has made a point of saying he wants to put Keitel at center. But to tell you the truth, putting Keitel at center, it kind of screws things up because if you got Keitel at center, then you got Hayes, Zib, Keitel, and Anderson down the middle. That means one of Keitel or Anderson are getting 4th line minutes, and you don't want that. And Anderson is the better center than Keitel. I think Keitel can play the wing because he's so good off the boards. And with that, even just because Keitel's on the wing doesn't mean he can't drive the middle and do center things. I just think Keitel's a better winger than he is a center, especially with the situation we find ourselves in right now. Excusez-moi. Now, another thing I want to talk about, back to the rosters, is, I think Brett Howden should make the team. I really do. I'd like to see Brett Howden, even if he's just a 4th line center, I would like to see Brett Howden make the team. I think he's earned that much. I'm hoping we play him again. I thought there was going to be a lot of cuts after last night. There has not been any cuts today, at least not that I've seen. I haven't been on Twitter in like 3 hours. And there haven't been any cuts yet today, so I'm a little surprised about that. Kind of thought we'd start weeding more guys out, especially ones that we know aren't going to make the roster, like Rob O'Gara and company. Why is everybody driving so slow? I don't think Cody McLeod should make the team, but I think he will make the team. And if he does, I'd rather it be on a 13th forward role or a 14th forward role. I don't want him to be in the lineup every night. We got McQuaid and Smith. Brendan Smith has looked awesome. Outside of a couple mistakes that he made, because players are going to make mistakes. No one's ever going to have a perfect game. But outside of a couple mistakes, Brendan Smith looked good enough to play in the lineup. And, Mark Staal's looked all right too. But right now, the way I want the defense to be sorted out, these are my 6 defensemen I want in the lineup every night. Like the consistent 6. Shea, Shaddy, Smith, D'Angelo, Pionk, and who the hell am I missing? Shea, Shaddy, Smith, Pionk, D'Angelo, and McQuaid. And then have Clayson and Stahl as 7 and 8. The only reason I say Stahl at all is because he's got a no movement clause. He ain't waiving it. And I know Stahl makes a lot of money, so it's kind of a waste to not have him in the lineup. But to tell you the truth, if David Quinn's really all about winning, then he's going to put out the best the players that he thinks are going to win us games. And right now, with as deep as our defense is, you can go without Stahl. We don't really need him, which sucks because I was rooting for Mark Stahl this year. But that's just the way it is right now. We don't need Mark Stahl in the lineup. And listen, you know what? I got to point this out just while I'm driving. If you're fucking driving, for the love of God, if you're on an interstate, if you're on a highway, most of the time there's 3 fucking lanes. If you're going to drive slow, stay to the right. If you're you're going to keep up with traffic, stay in the middle. If you're going to drive fast, stay in the left lane. Okay? It's that simple. And please, the left lane is the pass lane, not the right lane. I digress. Sorry, people in North Carolina really have not. I don't know what driving test they took down here, but like half the population needs to get their license revoked. Absolutely amazing. Anyways. You know, my biggest issue right now, especially at forward, is guys like, I say guys, like there's only one forward that's going to make the team I don't want on the team. That's Vlad Nemestikov. He sucks. Oh my god. I do not like Nemestikov. I don't think he's good. I don't think he ever was good. All right? It took him to play with Kucherov and Stamkos to put up a 40 fucking point season. He's not good. I don't know why he's still there. I don't know why we signed him 2 years, $4 million. People want to kiss this guy's ass. He's not that good. He's certainly not a $4 million player. So I don't know what they got planned with Nemestikov, but I hope it's short term. Why are we stopping? But yeah, I don't know what they got planned for Nemestikov, but I really hope it's short term, because I cannot stand this guy. I know he didn't even play last night, but like, guys are fighting harder, working harder, and are better than him that are not going to get a spot. I.e., Brett fucking Howden. And not for nothing, you know, it sucks that Bolesky got hurt, but Bolesky's been pretty damn good. He sticks up for his teammates, he plays his fucking heart out, and he looks better this year than he did last year. And Nemestikov's going to get a spot over him, and that upsets me, because I don't think Nemestikov has a place on this friggin' team. I don't think he's that good. Oh my god, I don't know what it is about him, but I never have liked him. I never thought he was going to be good, and I still don't think he is. I think there should have been a better piece we could have gotten back in that McDonough deal than Nemestikov. I don't know if they would have given us Johnny Gord or not, but I would have rather Johnny Gord or Laurel Gord than fucking Nemestikov. I don't like Nemestikov. I don't like him. I don't think he's that good. And you know, I want him to prove me otherwise, because I never like disliking players. I want to like every guy on the team, but I don't like Nemestikov. I don't think he's good. I think there's players better than him. I think he's literally a peak third liner. That's it. I don't even think he's better than that. I want him out. Gone. Or to me, he'd be in the freaking minor leagues where he belongs. So line combos. I'd like to see the KZB line. Excuse me. I'd like to see the KZB line, because of just how much they click, how much it works. That sauce that Zibanejad fed Kreider last night, that was nasty. That was a beautiful pass off the rush. And that's why I think they work well together. And having Buchnevich on the other side certainly doesn't hurt. Buchnevich has been crazy this preseason. I've certainly liked watching him. Now the second line, I think you can rock Hayes, Spooner, Keitel, and that shouldn't be an issue. Because Hayes can score, Spooner can score, and Keitel can certainly score. And the third line, you got to put Nemestikov on the wing. And then you got Elias Anderson and Zook. And it sucks to have Zook on the third line, but I look at it as you have your top three liners are going to play similar minutes, minus the first line. I think the first line is a bit of an outlier, but they can play more. But you do have three lines that can score. And then the fourth line, you can make a fourth line that can score. If you do trying to think, like Bolesky or Lethierry you do VC, Howden, and Fost. Yeah, I totally forgot about VC. And you got a fourth line that could score and do a lot of things. You really do. No, it's not a shot against VC putting him on the fourth line, but there are just better players out of him. That's just that. VC, if he wants to move up, he's got to be a 25 goal scorer, and that's what he's got to do. And until he proves otherwise, I don't know if he'll ever move up. And then I think you got Cody McLeod as your 13th forward, because you couldn't carry 8 defensemen this year. Bolesky in the minors, Lethierry, and I love Lethierry, and I hate to send him down, but who doesn't make it over Lethierry? Howden? It'd be a shame to see that, but I don't know. I feel like even though Lethierry did score the overtime winner last night, our forward depth chart is so deep right now, especially with fringe NHLers. Makes you think if Lethierry is going to make it over a guy like Howden, which I'm sure he will, but would rather see Howden, to tell you the truth. But who knows? If Nemestikov wasn't on the fucking team, we wouldn't have to worry about it. But, you know, Nemestikov. Love that. let's say come deadline, team is stupid enough to trade for Nemestikov. You put Lettieri in that mix. And then defensively, so the way I want to run the pairs, I do want to do Shea and Shaddy on the top pair. And here's why. Because if you do Shea Shaddy, then you do Smith Pionk and McQuaid D'Angelo. Because Shaddy, Pionk, and D'Angelo, and you could argue that Pionk isn't just an offensive defenseman, but he's offensive. It gives all those players someone they can rely on defensively when they pinch up. And that's just the way David Quinn has to play. And he has a range of playing very aggressive, very physical, very offensively aggressive, and I freaking love it. I absolutely love it. So we're going to need Smith, Shea, and McQuaid to be back there with those guys. You know, it would be great to have the Shea Smith combo going again, but you don't have McDonough, you don't have Stoll, you don't have Girardi to cover for the other guys because we're just so deep now. See, that's what I'm talking about. That guy's a fucking asshole. Don't use the right lane to pass, bud. Alright, if I could drive faster than 70 miles an hour, I would, but I can't. I legitimately can't. So, I don't know what he's trying to do right now, but I wish he would stop doing it, because if he hits my fucking car, I'm going to be pissed. Move over. Getting a little close. Getting a little close. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the idiots. Yeah, so because we have so many offensive defensemen, or offensively minded defensemen, you got to put them with their defensive, some guys, help them defend. Now, I'm not opposed to doing Shea Smith on the PK together. I think that would be very potent. But you've got to have them separated with 6-on-6, because you're asking for a huge minus out of one of Shaddy, Pionk, or D'Angelo. If you put them together on a pair, it just won't work. And they're all righties too, and that's another thing. You got to be careful with that. They are all righties. McQuaid's a righty too. We do have 4 righties this year, which is different than last year. Last year we only had 1 righty, and that was Pionk because Shaddy got hurt. And then you got Clayson and Stolze on the bench. I like the way Clayson's played. I was optimistic. Well, I wasn't optimistic. I was kind of against the signing of first because we have so many defensemen. But Clayson does look good enough to hold down a 5th or 6th defenseman role. Because we're so deep on defense right now, I don't really think we have a spot for him, especially because we got higher ranked and higher ceiling prospects ahead of him, like Neil Pionk and Tony D'Angelo. I swear, D'Angelo looks like, he looks stupid good this preseason. I really think that D'Angelo is going to be, if he keeps this up, a really solid top 4 defenseman. Last year, I was not impressed with D'Angelo. I was happier with him when he got called up, but I was not impressed at all. This year, I've been very happy with the way D'Angelo's played. No, I think he's done a little bit much at times, and I've hit on that. But I think that's just him just trying to be a little bit more flashy, especially in the preseason. I don't think that shit carries over in the regular season, but I think he's more than earned a spot this year. He's played that good in the preseason. He looks faster, he looks smarter, more defensively responsible. I love everything I'm seeing at D'Angelo. Same thing with Pionk. I don't think Gilmore makes it. That's way fair to say. He does not make this team. O'Gara does not make the team. Bolesky ain't making it. Tim Gettinger's looked really good. I like that he scored last night. I don't think he makes a team, but goddamn, has he had a hell of a freaking preseason. I want to see what the lineup is for tomorrow night, and I want to see if they make cuts today, because they got to get this roster trimmed down. There's only 2 preseason games left, so they've got to get this freaking roster trimmed down soon, because you want the practice to be smaller. You want to get those final roster roster spot battles figured out. Because if you don't figure them out now, it's going to be just a pain in the ass later. Because then you're going to have like 10 guys fighting for one spot. You don't want that. You want to be down to your final 3 or 4 and have them battle it out. And I don't think Gettinger and Fonte. I think the final 3 spot. I think the final spot and the final spot is going to be the 4th line center. Because we that's what we're going to need, not a winger. I think it's going to be down to Lettieri, Howden, Bolesky if he's not hurt, and McLeod. I think those are going to be the 4. Now, would I like to see a guy like Tim Gettinger surprise and fight for that last spot? Abso-freaking-lutely. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Not that I don't think he's ready. I think he's made a case to be a 4th liner in the NHL. I just don't see it happening. I think guys like that already have NHL experience and are more touted prospects to be more for the spot, like Howden. Like Howden. So we'll see about that. And then there's no way Mazanik stays in the NHL after last night. The starter and backup is gonna be Hank and Georgiev. That much is, I mean, near damn sold. I don't see how it's any other way. Tokarski has not been impressive enough. Mazanik has not been impressive enough. Lundqvist and Georgiev, the way it should have been the whole time. I respect what they did. They tried to bring in Mazanik and Tokarski as competition for Georgiev, I guess, to try to make him take that next step or like give him a little bit more competition per se. But there was no way anyone was beating out Georgiev. He's just too damn good. And I think that's about all I got to say. So until next time, comment below your thoughts on everything that I think, your thoughts on the game last night. Who do you think is going to get cut? Who do you think is going to make it? If you have a hot take, comment your hot take below. Love responding to the comments. Haven't done it in a while. I was trying to do that today. We'll see. I got a late game tonight, so I'll be awake all night. Yep, comment down below your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!